Welcome everyone to the 7th episode. I had to ask Tom in the beginning which episode it was, and now I realize episode 7 is literally written on the screen, Tom. I'm actually an idiot. But yeah, the 7th episode,
Is it, dude?
The best ever Weiss Schwarz set review show with your host Yue Pang and what's your name again? Tom. Tom. How's your day been, man?
It's good. Good.
Let me turn down the music actually a little bit loud.
We're chasing dragons?
Can't turn you down. I can't, man. Copyright claims. And today,
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Today we are joined by a very special guest, the youngest Weiss Schwarz sponsored player. You know, Weiss Schwarz. Actually, maybe there's some younger ones in Japan. Who knows? But the youngest Western Weiss Schwarz sponsored player. This is SBTCG Yumin Kim. What's up, man?
Hello. How you doing?
How am I doing?
Both of you.
My stomach is stuffed with
I know how you're doing, Yue, but how's Tom doing? That's the important question.
Doing fine.
That's good to
I
hear.
did not eat as much as you guys did for lunch, so.
Yeah, we ate a lot. Our server was kind of troll though.
Agreed. Anyways, guys, episode 7 is the day I became a god. I did not mention that before. A very exciting set. We brought on Yumin Kim for a very specific reason. This man is extremely excited about the set. He thinks it's... Actually, I don't know. Like, you want to talk about what you think of the set a little bit before we get started?
Set, to start off, the set is very flavorful, I think. Set has very, good moments in it that also got translated into the cards, which is very nice to see. And this set actually has a lot of original card effects, which is always nice to see. Just reprints of older sets with power creep. The set is very original, very flavorful, and what can I say more, man? Girls are cute, cards are nice.
Girls are cute, cards are nice. Dude, if only Abraham Lincoln said something like that, I think a lot of things could have happened faster in the United States. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to explain our rating system. It's a 1 to 5 star system with each rating effectively, you can think of it as a spectrum rating, but it's mostly a rating of like a specific categories that we give cards. A 1-star card is a card that is particularly bad, probably shouldn't see play, you shouldn't get it. It's just best that you avoid these cards. 2-star cards are niche. You probably want to get them, but frequently they're not 4 of cards. They are a little bit techy, meta dependent. You might want to pick them up later, but they're still probably worth picking up. 3-star cards are ambiguous cards that we are not entirely sure about, but could be very good or could be very bad. But maybe it's the first time we see them. Maybe it's just we don't know. It looks strong, but the meta might not call for it at current moment. 4-star cards are good cards. I don't know what else to say. They're pretty good, and giving a 4-star is a fairly confident rating that the card will see some amount of play. Finally, 5-star cards are what I like to call the banger cards. They are, you see this card, you're excited to play the set. If you're an opponent playing against this set, you want to be aware of these cards because they're probably going to see play in your opponent's deck. So those are the 5-star cards. They're very powerful or very original or very meta-defining. That being said, I need to make sure before we start, we got to shout out our sponsors. We got Nova TCG, your best source for English Japanese Weiss Schwarz. Visit their site, novatcg.com. For you're in North America, they have great shipping rates internationally. I think they do that too. So, definitely check them out. Also, shout outs to Weiss Tea Time and the owner Taya. That the blog is where we get all of our card translations. Taya graciously makes the slides for us every single show. Her website is super. It's just a really good. My English is not great, but I think almanac is the term. A book of everything almost. I go on that site for translations, for competitive articles, for just an update on Taya's life. Sometimes she has I'm going through this right now blogs, and it's just really good time reading. I use it for all my translations because I can't read a single word of Japanese. I can read the numbers, but that's it. And numbers are pretty useless. So yeah, those are my, and also shout outs to Strictly Broken TCG for providing such an attractive host. It's really hard to come by those. And I'm of course talking about Thomas M. It's oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm the owner of Strictly Broken TCG.
Yeah, I just oh, 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 hey Tom, how's your day, man? Anyways, without further ado, Tom, are you ready to co-host?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Human,
Hell yeah.
are you human? Are you ready?
Of course.
Can't
I'm
wait
here
to talk
now.
about these broken cards.
Broken cards? No, chill, dude. Chill. They're flavorful, not broken.
Dude, this set's gonna get banned within the year.
No,
Guaranteed.
dude. No, dude.
Full disclosure, me and Tom are objective parties here, human. I'm just gonna let you know. I know you don't want to tell the world the deck is broken, but me and Tom, we are gonna say when we think stuff is broken. I'm sorry, human. I can't keep that secret for you. Anyways,
Okay.
sorry, man. I just can't. I am legally obligated by contract with our sponsors to be objective. Anyways,
Yeah, okay, dude.
we'll get started with the show. So we usually do TD highlights. There's usually more cards. Yumin only gave us one, but me and Tom did think there was another card worth highlighting. We don't have the slide deck for it because he didn't give it to Taya, Yumin. We're going to talk about it. There's a 3/5 runner in the set. 3/5 center runner. Its ability is when you have 2 or less
that
stock.
card. I forgot about that card. Sorry about that. I
When
forgot
you
that
have
card
2 or
existed.
less stock, this card has 3,500 power, and it on opponent's turn it may move to the center slot. So it is the SP in the set, very easy to find. I had to pay a lot of money for 4. Let's just rate it on this TD highlights thing and talk about it maybe. So Tom, what do you think of that card? Sorry, there's no picture.
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard, pretty decent level 0. But it's interesting that it's in the TD little things.
It is a pretty good card, I think. It's very standard.
Yeah.
It's the 3/5 center runner. There's been cards like that before. And it's like the fact that it's like 2 or less stock might be a little bit iffy compared to like a 5 or more card hand. Its power. But I think it's like for the deck it's pretty solid to run.
All right. How would you guys rate it? Pretty simple.
I think 2.
Yeah.
It's another standard card.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll move on to the other card Yumin sent us, which is this 1/1 event. Again, guys, Yumin did not send us the previous card. I apologize. I'm gonna bully him a little bit later about it. But this card, if you do not have a summer character, you cannot play it from hand. Very difficult condition. Search your deck for up to 1 climax. Show it to your opponent. Add it to hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards, and send this card to memory.
There's a lot. Okay, running theme with the set. There's a bunch of events that do stuff and go to memory, and the set has a lot of ways to interact with these events.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty good event. I think. Yeah, I like these more than like the costless ones. I don't know what you think about those.
Yeah, I agree with Tom here. Said this card could be really good in the deck, especially where you can like loop your level 1 combo, or just like in a desperate situation, you can always play this to get a climax, kind of push damage if you need to. It's a pretty good card to have, and just works with the deck entirely since it does go to memory.
Yeah. What do you want to give it?
I think just a 2 is deserving of this card.
Fair enough, fair enough. And that's it for TDs. It's actually just those 2 cards. If there's more, apologize, Yumin. Actually only gave us this 1 again. So
There's actually just like there's actually a 3/5 backup in the TD, but that's not really not worth mentioning.
sure, there's a 3/5 backup as well. Tom, just to double check, you shared on the socials, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get straight into yellow, boys. So simple, short, and sweet. That's what I say about a lot of things that Tom has.
What?
Your writing is short, elegant, and sweet. Like when you
I
write
see.
essays, I have a lot of respect for that because I tend to drag on and on. So I have a lot of respect for your prose. Anyways, kind of like a old man in the sea. What's his name? I can't remember the author. Old man in the sea.
It's
Hemingway.
I know
Big
Ernest
fan,
Hemingway.
by the way.
Ernest Hemingway.
Yes.
Ernest
That's
Hemingway.
you,
Big
Tom.
fan.
Thomas Hemingway. Anyways, we're on to yellow. For They I Became a God. It is very event centric. You know, events are the cards that are not characters or climaxes and Weiss Schwarz, if you didn't know. And for the sake of clarity, for the sake of effect explanation, we're doing events before we do the characters. So events usually appear after characters, before climaxes. We're gonna do events first because a lot of effects will reference events in the set. So let's get straight into yellow. 1/1 yellow event. Search your deck for up to one summer character, show it to your opponent, add it to hand, shuffle your deck afterwards, send this to memory. Some people call this mask, and this might become a generic term for this kind of card, but we do not currently have a exclamation point effect for this jargon piece. By the way, guys, I do want to mention that jargon thing. If we ever say a word you guys don't understand or you never heard before, some piece of jargon, we have this cool feature on the stream where you can type exclamation point and then jargon, and all major ones will all get highlighted in the chat. Kevin, if you want to try one in the chat to show people who are here for the first time, what happens? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And what do you guys think of this card?
It's another event that goes in memory.
Yes, I agree with Tom.
Sounds good to me.
Good. Nice search effect is pretty good too. Yes, search for a character. Doesn't really mind his hand. Just gets another memory just for that effect. And I see some people in chat are calling this Nisekoi pendant event instead of mask, which is true. No flame.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is like a way to get this, but honestly, the memory text is the most relevant here.
Yeah.
Due to a card we'll cover much later, but what do you want to give it for now?
I think a 2. It's another generic memory sender. Send it to memory. Deal with it later.
Sounds good. Next up, we have this 3/2 event. Choose 2 of your characters. They gain 1000 power and the following ability for the turn. Auto. When this card's damage is cancelled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. It activates only once. So on multi-damage proccing cards, it cannot activate multiple times. And then send this to memory.
So of course this goes to memory. I think I tend to like finishing events, but cancel burn is obviously not as good as like the burn of varietals. What's your opinion on this?
I think it's a card that's there. I'm not sure if it will see that much play, especially since it does cost 2 stock. So that can also be like another like finisher card that can also heal. So if you do have that extra resources, it could be a nice touch to have. Just finish your opponent off like successfully. But overall, I don't think this card will be that useful in the deck. It does go to memory, which is a plus size, but it's also at level 3, where you want to kind of play out your finishers.
Enough. What do you give it?
Just 1, I think. It might be a bit controversial, but I don't think this card is that good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
1 it is. All right, now on to characters. We got this 1-0 Hina. I'm a big fan of this anime, clearly, and even more so because she's holding a basketball. You know, LeBron James of the future.
Why is she holding a basketball, Yue?
Because she is LeBron James. This anime is actually
reason.
This anime is the prequel story of LeBron James's legacy.
Yeah, this is Space Jam. This is a prequel to Space Jam.
Come on and slam.
Yeah. Climax Combo. When the choice climax pictured is placed on your climax area, if you have another summer character until the end of your opponent's turn, this gains 1 of the 2 following abilities. It can either, on attack, put the top card of your deck into stock, or when it's frontal attack, you may return this to hand. Another auto ability is when this card attacks, if you have 2 or more other summer characters, it gains 2000 power for the turn.
Big fan, by the way. Interesting. Modal Climax Combo. We've seen a lot of these recently.
Yeah, there's one in Bang Dream.
Yeah, and one in Data Bullet.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty interesting, I think.
I think this one differs from like the Bang Dream card since it is on play Climax, which is kind of gives you less options.
Yeah.
But it is 6/5 on attack, which is pretty big.
Yeah, you have to declare which of your combos are getting which effect when you play the Climax. Yeah. Pretty
It's,
versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're out, you can stalk. If you just need hand, you can bounce it back to hand, and it works pretty well with like the previous event mentioned, like the Climax search event, where you can just bounce this to hand and loop it with that event by searching for the Climax.
Yeah. And it always attacks for 6/5, even if you don't have a Climax combo, which is nice. A lot of Climax
Which is
combos
nice.
don't do anything without the Climax combo, so
That's
this
true.
one is not like that. So
It's a pretty good card.
yeah, what do you give it?
I think a 4 is good enough for this card.
Yeah.
It's not really a 2, I don't think. It definitely has more potential, and it is a card that can see play, and I think for that reason I give it a 4.
All right, 4 it is. Sounds good. Moving on, gotta move on from LeBron James here. 3/2 Sora. If you have 4 or more other summer characters against -1 level in hand, call this early play. During this card's battle, your opponent cannot play backups from the hand. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you may heal 1. Then this turn, this gets plus 1500 power. If you don't heal, does it gain 1500 power? I think it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Because it says then, right?
Yeah.
I think it.
Anyone know in
No, I
chat?
think it gets. I think it gets the power.
It gains the power no matter what. Okay.
I think it does gain the power.
Does it? Well, I
Yeah,
guess like if you,
if
I
the
guess it
power
would
were
say
tied to
like
the heal, it would say if you did heal.
if you did heal, I guess.
Yeah, I think it would, but I could be wrong. I'll leave it up to the judges in the crowd. Kind of feels like early plays are like there's like an early play bingo. Easing condition, does it heal? Does heal for 1 stock? Anti backups, stuff like that. This has a lot of those. This has easy condition, no backups, and it heals, which is all nice.
It can be just used to just clear field on a lane.
Yeah.
It does like become 8/5 next turn, so it is easier for your opponent to kill it. But the single like value that this card gets just in 1 turn, clearing field without backup, I think that's good enough.
Yeah, I think it's fine. What do you want to give it?
So maybe I'm debating between like a 2 and a 4 here, because I think it is definitely good. That no backup part can be seriously helpful, so I think I'll give it a 4.
It is very relevant right now, so
Yes.
I think that's a fine score.
4 it is. Next up, 3/2 Hina. Pay 1, discard 1. When this card attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do this turn, this card gets 2000 power and the following ability. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. Also, it has the fabled Musashi effect. Exclamation mark Musashi in the chats, please. This ability activates up to once per turn. During the turn this card is placed on stage from hand. When this card's damage is cancelled, mill 1, then deal X damage to your opponent. X equals the level of the mill card plus 1. As a legacy player, seeing the combination of 2 effects from days past is always very nostalgic, Tom. What do you break it down?
Yeah, I agree. It's been a long time since we've seen the Misakuro actually, or a card with the first effect rather. And we've definitely never seen the first effect combined with a finishing effect like the Musashi effect. So, pretty unique card. Unfortunately, this is overshadowed by another card we're gonna cover later.
Yes.
I think in any other set, this would have been really good, but unfortunately, this is not the main star of the show here.
Yeah, that's true. It does have high potential here. It's like if you do like eat the swing and then you just burn 1 and
Yeah.
they cancel and then you can Musashi. But then,
Or if you don't get the climax, right? That's like another.
if you
thing.
don't get the climax.
Yeah.
But like overall, this card can have high potential, but it's just outshadowed by another card that exists.
Still pretty good though, I think.
Yep. Not sure if people will run it in their decks. Maybe as like a 1 of, maybe 2 of, just for like a decent finisher if you don't get your level 3 combo.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'll give it like a 3 because I'm not really sure.
I think that's fair.
Next up, we have 0/0 Sora. It's an assist that gives the characters in front the ability that they cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. So we call it hexproof. I don't think we have. Do we have a? Whatever, not important. Second ability is an act ability to discard 1 card, rest this. and you choose a copy of the 1/1 event, the search or mask from your waiting room, and add it to hand.
Right. Interesting. They didn't like print a straight up searcher or a bonder for the mask event. Feels kind of intentional. As it is, I feel like this doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah,
You also have
right?
to rest it, so like you can't even attack with it.
yeah,
So
you're
it'll be-
basically like the assist effect. The assist effect has to be like the best, like what you're getting value of, right? Out of right.
Mhm.
Card, fortunately. But you want the mask event early, so you'd want to use this effect early, but the hexproof is like less relevant early, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
What do
think
you- what do
it's
you-
that good. 'Cause
Yeah.
it is a bonder to the event, and the event can be used very early on to sculpt for level 1. And it is a card that can see play, just for like the later game purposes, and like it can be used both early game and late game, which I think is pretty nice to have. So, and it's another tech card, so I think I'll give it a 2.
That's totally fair. It's just not as good as I think everybody would prefer to bond, the actual bond or a searcher to the event. Unfortunate.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next up, we have this very flavorful card: 0/0 Kanade, Hina, and Now. And being
They all have the same voice actress, by the way. Big
Yep.
fan. Big fan.
Big fan. Big fan
yeah,
of
I'm a
Key.
huge fan, but I actually don't know what's going on here. When this card is placed on stage from hand, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them back on top in any order. And when this card attacks, if you have 1 or less other characters, you may mill 1 if that card is a level 0 or lower character placed on stage in any back row slot. What do you guys think of this in context of specifically Day I Became a God?
I feel like there's not enough room for this card. It's
Yeah,
like a pretty,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
There are
It's
some
usually...
good. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Human.
Oh, okay, sure. There are some like good targets that you can put in the back definitely with like the later cards that are being revealed, but it's just there's not enough room first of all, and second of all, it's just not really likely to hit those cards.
Mm.
The top check 2 is definitely nice, but like the second effect is just so hit or miss.
I don't disagree. Are we going to quickly talk about
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this card
the other sets?
Yeah, this card has a little bit of extra text to it. You're allowed to play it in Angel Beats and Charlotte. It's on the screen. And so I gave Yumin a little bit of homework and to ask one of his friend that plays Angel Beats and one friend that plays Charlotte, and what they would rate it in context of their set. What did you guys rate it for this set, by the way?
Probably. I'm not sure actually.
I think a 2, probably?
2, I think 2
2?
is like a low 2 maybe.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
And what about what your friend said about?
So I talked to Charlotte specialist and the Angel Beat specialist, Charlotte specialist Weber Chen, Sankaze, and he said for this current meta right now in the JP meta, this card probably won't see play in the Charlotte deck. There are some key targets that can come out, like the Now assist, the Pants assist that also rest pump 1/5, but other than that, it just doesn't get that much value from running it, and with the limited space that Charlotte has from its heavy level 3 line, it's just not that good to run. And for Angel Beats, my friend Denki, he said Angel Beats right now with the Wind combo at level 1, this card is just like another dead card in the deck where you do want to have level 2s and higher be hit on the combo. You can't really use this card. So in both scenarios, this card just doesn't get that much value from being in the set.
Cool. And that's all she wrote. We wanted to do a little bit of a collab because this is a collab card. I don't know why I'm stressing the word collab. Let's just move right along. Oh my god, so much meat in my stomach. Next up, a 0/0 Hikari. This ability activates up to once per turn during your turn when you play an event. Choose up to one of your opponent's characters, send it to memory, then your opponent places that character on stage in any slot. It's a pay 1, tap self. Search for summer character Thomas M.
Salvage.
It's a
Salvage for character Thomas M. Sorry, am I reading it?
Yeah.
I don't think we have. Do we have the keyword for Thomas M in the chat? Exclamation. Not sure, but
See. No, I did not add that.
okay. Well, it's. I'm sorry, I just don't know how to refer to this card in any other way. But yeah.
Anyways, tap self salvage brainstorm always means this is a pretty playable card. I think the first effect is kind of situational though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, even though you
It's
are
just-
playing events like every turn.
hmm But the salvage brainstorm part is very nice. There's a search brainstorm in this deck that also has like effect when you do play an event. But I think salvage overall is just better for this deck or set in general.
Yeah.
But that extra being able to just blink your opponent every turn, kind of creating that threat, like allows you to kind of get more leeway into the game and your opponent to play around.
Yeah, notably, I think it deals with like power pumps that last. I think a lot of cards do that right now. Get power through the opponent's turn. Blink effects take away the power, so definitely can be meta relevant.
hmm
What would you guys rate it?
What do you want to give it?
I think probably 2. I want to give it the 4, but I'm not sure if it's like couldn't be that good, especially when the first effect
You want to give that a 3 then?
can be.
You can
because
give it
you're
a 3
unsure.
then. I think 3.
Okay.
That sounds like a 3.
Sure,
man.
3 is 3. I think. Yeah, okay. I think 3 is good.
Yeah. Not to step on your
Consider-
toes. I just you literally said the definition of 3, so I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Next up, we got the 0/0 Sora. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, if there's a character in the slot across from this, you may move this to an empty front row slot.
Kind of a runner. Kind of. It's a runner.
It runs away.
We don't have a runner command, unfortunately. I think it's just worse than the TV card.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So it's just not really
yeah.
worth talking about. It's just not that good.
Yeah.
So I think this 1 is fine.
She looks so sad.
That's because she's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Thomas. Okay, Thomas.
Bully.
Big fan, by the way.
Okay, Thomas.
Okay,
Moving right
Thomas.
along. Thomas. 3/2 Hikari. During your turn, this card gets 2,000 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, mill 2, then deal X damage to your opponent. X equals the number of soul triggers milled this way. Climax Combo when this card attacks. If you have the shot Climax pictured, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 4 cards from your opponent's waiting room and shuffle them into your opponent's deck.
Wow. Unfortunately, the burn effect is kind of inconsistent. I've like played with this kind of effect before. It's pretty inconsistent, unless you like
Yeah.
really warp the deck.
And
right?
it's like this.
Yeah.
The last time we saw something was in Bunny Girl.
Oh yeah, you're right. And events don't have triggers, so you
That's
know
true.
doesn't doesn't really
And also
play
like
into the
like to mention that like this combo, this card itself is not even that bad. It's just that there's another finisher that's just so much better than this one. It's
Yeah, I
really
think the
sad for this
trigger-
set.
I think the trigger is also kind of suspect. For
Oh, the
modern
shot.
decks, so,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can agree with you there.
So, I mean,
It is
Yeah.
relatively cheap though, and it can get a lot of value.
yeah, but probably just a budget card.
Yeah.
I don't think this will be played.
Every other finisher except like the main one kind of feels bad in this set since like the
Yeah.
main finisher is just that good.
Mhm.
So, but
You
it
wanna
can
give it-
see play like as a budget deck. And therefore, I think like a 2 is justifiable.
Sure.
Moving along, 0/0 Hina. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may choose 1 card in your clock, add it to hand. If you do, choose a card in your hand, put it into clock. Color fixing tool. When this card attacks, choose one of your other summer characters and it gets plus X power. X equals the number of your other summer characters times 500.
Yeah, it's a color fixing, hand fixing.
Could
tool.
also grab like it doesn't say characters, so it could also grab climaxes or events.
Yes, very relevant, actually.
Yeah.
And the Shimakai effect is like pretty nice. I think it's like that kind of effect on like random utility is like always like nice to see. This is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want to?
Probably a 2, just like another
Yeah.
tech card that can hand fix and pump power.
A lot of loaded utility cards in the set, honestly. So I mean,
Yep.
Yeah. Two sounds fine.
Mhm.
Next card, UA.
All right, 2 it is. Next up, 0-0 Sora. Climax Combo. If the choice climax is in your climax area, or in any zone gains choice trigger. That's really cool. And shuffle 2 characters from
it's
your
how
waiting
you-
room into your deck. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay cost. If you do this turn, this gets +1 soul.
No weird effect.
It's a
Um,
unique effect that can it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a 12 choice trigger deck or something. Interesting effect.
Mhm.
You can do sick plays like shuffle 2 of these back in a small
If you have
deck.
if you have like a 2-card deck, shuffle these back, trigger your
Yeah.
choice, salvage.
This could have been. I feel like this could have been broken if the card itself were better. I don't know how good. I don't think the on a level 0 as well. It's just not like the best. I think.
I think it's just like another filler card, but like it's unique, which is nice to have.
Yeah.
But I don't think this card will see play. But it is a cool card. Because of I think I'll give it a 2. It's very cool.
Fair enough.
Whoa, next up 1-0 Hina. She looks excited. When this card is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. That card is a summer character or an event. Choose one of your opponent's front row characters. It gets minus 4,500 power for the turn. Actually, is it permanent? I don't even know, because this reads as if it was permanent.
It says this turn.
Alright.
That's this turn, bro.
But
this turn.
Insane amount of power, by the way, that the character is losing.
Yeah.
Um,
Like the balance for this card is like the fact that it's base 1k. So it can lose a lane if you do push it up. But that minus 4/5 can be really huge. Especially against like big wall decks where you can minus power. And since
it
you're
also
level
doesn't
1
miss on
combo,
events, which is nice.
like since your level 1 combos and gets pretty big, 6/5, you can kill like 10k cards with this card.
Overall, we don't really see cards like this very often. This is literally the first time I think I've seen this card like effect. So I mean, it's a lot of power.
And it's really
a lot
nice
of power.
that it hits on events too.
Cards like this kind of have cascading effects throughout the set, right? Like a lot, like this amount of power kind of like changes how some other cards might operate. So you keep that in mind, right? As we go through the set, I think. What do you want to give this though?
I think 3.
Yeah.
It is a pretty good card, but it just needs a lot of support for it to become really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright. Let's give it 2?
Give it
3.
3. Alright, cool. Sorry, I'm actually looking up prices of the SP this set right now, so I might be a bit distracted. In I'm just full disclosure. I'm full disclosure. They're available. 1-0 Sora. During your turn, this card gets 4,000 power. During this card's battle, when the damage you take is cancelled, you may send this to stock.
Generic 7k attacker. Sometimes it'll go to stock, which is cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say about it.
It does have that potential to go to stock, but other than that, it's just like another 7k card.
Yeah. Probably not that useful because your combo, your yellow combo is 6/5 already. So
yeah. I don't think it's that good of a card.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'll give it a 1.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Absolutely focused here. Next up, 1-1 Hikari. When this card's backup, when you use this card's backup, if all your characters are summer trait characters, you may put the top card of your deck into stock, and it's a 2,000 power backup.
Choice backup. So if you run like choice and your choice triggers in your list, you can salvage this backup, yeah, and then use it, and then pay out the stock. Pretty generic. Yeah. Probably like, what do you want to give it? Yeah.
It's not a generic card.
Sounds good. Next up, 3-2 Hina. When this card is placed on stage from hand, choose up to one of your opponent's characters and return it to hand. And this turn, this card does not suffer soul penalty when side attacking. Pay to discard 1/0/0 Hina. This assist, the effect is pictured on screen. We'll talk about it later. You guys can read it right now and get excited for it. But when this card attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your characters this turn. It gains the following ability. This ability activates up to once per turn. When this card's damage is canceled, you may deal the same amount of damage to your opponent.
Right. Usually bouncers don't get this effect. I feel like bouncers usually get power, so this is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think this is better than most bouncers, honestly. I think
I do agree.
Being able to, siding is just really good right now. There's a lot of decks that interact with events, interact with the counter step. So,
and the second effect is also like a decent finisher, I guess. If you do side, if they cancel, you're most likely swinging this card for 2 unless you do have a climax.
You definitely run the Hina in like every deck.
Yeah.
So
the Hina is just too good to not run.
Yeah. This is pretty decent, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good semi-finisher, but the cost can be a little bit expensive just to pay 2, and you do have to have this like card in hand, the target in hand, but like you do want to play this card on the field, so it could be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I think it's a 2.
This guy gives more 2s than Ryan Wibberley. Next up, 0/0 Yota. When this card is placed on stage from hand, milled 2, and this turn, this card gets X power. X equals the number of your summer characters milled times 1,000. Second ability, you may discard 1 card. When this card attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other summer characters and return it to hand.
It's nice that this attacks for like kind of big, but the second effect, I don't know if there's too much that abuses the second effect.
I guess like the
usually
level 1
don't
close combo.
Maybe, but yeah, if you decide to stock, right? Yeah.
But then like that is still a card from your hand, so you're not plussing. You're just getting the stock.
Yeah.
I don't think this card is that good.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll give it a 1.
Next up, 1/1 Sora. If you have 2 or more other summer characters, this card gets plus 1,500 power and auto encore, hand encore. Spoilers, there's no standby climaxes in this set, boys.
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, this is just poop. It's like they forgot that there wasn't a standby in this set.
There's no
broke
standby
out
trigger in this set.
They broke out
Fun
the
fact.
effects templates, and they're like, "Oh, we need some cards here."
Yeah, this
You
set
just
does
put
not have a
the-
standby, just to clarify, so like this card actually just like sucks.
Yeah.
So for that reason, just a 1. Like I don't think this card will see any play, to be honest.
Spoilers, yeah. I mean, it is spoilers, but there is some context needed to rate this card. Like, imagine us saying, "Oh, it's a great standby." Oh, shoot, there's no standby. So, it's a much needed spoiler. Plus, we don't rate climaxes on the show. Next up, we got 2/1 Hina. When this card attacks, mill 3. If you milled an event, all of your characters get +1 soul during this turn. When this card is reversed, if the battle opponent's level is higher than your opponent's level, you may send that character to stock. If you do, send the bottom card of your opponent's stock to waiting room.
Change bomb, removal and change bomb, which is nice. And the first effect is also like kind of nice situationally. Yeah. What do you think, Eamon?
Just think this is another tech card, anti-change bomb. So, but the first effect can be good in most situations, but like it does have the possibility to just like not be useful at times.
I like that it's on attack. You can choose which characters get the soul essentially by like changing your attack order. That's kind of cool.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it's also, if you're gonna use it like that, it kind of is a non-bow with the anti-change bomb, because like,
Well, that's true. If you level up,
if you're like doing
opponents-
damage, you're not attacking with this first. It might not end up bombing, so kind of unfortunate, but it's like fun.
But
This
I
card
think
is still fine.
just like another generic card, so I think I'll give it a 2.
Yeah.
Next up, we got this 2-1 Sora. All of your other 2-1 vanilla Hikaris. We don't rate vanillas on the show, but it is pictured below for you guys. Get 2,000 power and +1 soul. It is a 1,000 power assist and provides auto encore with its assist to god, sports, or movie characters in front of this card.
Most characters have these traits. I think these are like secondary traits that most of the characters in the set have. I think only Kyoko does not have any of these traits. So, Green Girl.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like it would be really good in standby, but like the set doesn't have a standby, and it's just not worth running with like the vanilla since that does like cost a lot of room in the deck.
Yeah, I agree.
I think like if we're gonna rate it, should we rate like entire package of it?
Yeah, when we don't rate vanillas separately.
So it's just like
yeah.
this card.
Just give it like a.
Also, like
probably.
it can miss on some of the traits because not every card has like god, sports, or movie trait. So therefore, I think I'll give it a 1.
Next up, we got this 2-1 Yota. It resonates and it reveals a 3/2 Hina CXC in your hand. It is pictured below. At the start of your climax phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, this turn this card gets 6,000 power. The card it resonates with is pictured below. We'll talk about it later. You can read the effect now and get very excited for it. We can hear our excitement about it a little bit later, guys.
Big dude. It
There's a lot of
resonates with a
power
good
pumps in
card.
this deck.
Yeah, it resonates with a good card, but it's just power. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think it's not good. Like 13k is like pretty big power, but like a lot of decks in the meta can actually like beat over this with a counter. Like 13k isn't that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah.
So I think I'll give it a 1.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's it for green. Because we did events at the start, there's no events to review, so we're done with yellow. We can take a brief 5 to 10 minute intermission now. Let's get started on green.
Yeah, sure.
1/1 green event. Choose one summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand. You may send this to memory. Reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a level 2 or higher card, send it to stock.
An oldie but a goodie. This has a bond, like a bond for it, so
Yeah.
it's pretty decent. I think pretty good for the deck since it goes to memory. Got any other thoughts? You got any thoughts on it, Human?
No, like that potential to get the stock back, which is definitely nice.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to mention that this card works really well with the level 1 combo. Saying like, if you do top check and miss, and it's like a level 0 card in there, like a character, you could also like with your level 1 choice combo, you could also like blind stock and know what's there.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, some neat synergy, for sure.
I think this event is probably one of the better events, or like the best event in the set.
Yeah, I mean, especially
really
because it
good.
has a bond, so like
Yeah.
always accessible, more or less.
So I think I'll give it a 4. It works really well.
Fair enough. Yeah.
4 it is. Moving right along, we got this 1/0 event. Choose one level extra lower summer character in your waiting room and add it to hand. X equals the number of your 0/0 Soras in your waiting room. The Sora is pictured below. And we should just rate it, I guess, in context of the Sora, but you guys can read the Sora and we can talk about it later.
This event does not go to memory, so.
And
I mean,
like it's such like a troublesome of the condition to get that level.
yeah, it's not consistent at all.
Yeah.
Even if you run like 4, I think it's like it can be hard to like get what you want off this event a lot of the time. So yeah.
And like
I
Tom
disagree.
mentioned, like the fact that it doesn't go to event is just kind of sad.
It's still a fine card, but probably just not worth playing in most decks. Honestly.
Give it a 1.
All right, and this is the Sora that it interacts with. So when this card is placed on stage from hand, this turn it gets +1, 1,500 power, making it attack at 3,000 power. And when it's sent from stage to waiting room, you may pay the cost, which is to discard one. To look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose up to one level 1 or higher character, show it to your opponent, add it to hand, and send the rest to waiting room.
Just a solid card.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It attacks for big numbers at level 0 on your turn, and at the end, you can with this card you can actually grab event since it's a level 1 or higher card.
Yeah.
Which can be really nice.
Solid card. I think most deck. Yeah. What do you? Most decks should be playing this, right? Even.
Personally, I don't run it in
What?
like what build I have
Okay.
in mind.
That's
Since
fair.
like it feels nice to get that power and that discard effect to mill 4, but there are times where you can miss. First of all, and I think like the card itself is not that great in this deck particularly.
Okay.
Well, that's my opinion on it, but like I could be wrong definitely. But as of right now, I don't think the card like it is playable, but I choose not to play it.
What do you want to give it?
I think it is another like tech card where it's just like 3 count attack, so give it a 2.
Okay.
3/2 Kyoko. Discard 1 card. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, put the top card of your clock into stock. It's a 1-cost healer, basically. Climax Combo. Pay 1, send a 1/1 green event that we saw earlier. The one that goes to memory. When this card attacks, if you have the bar climax in your climax area, you may pay the cost. If you do, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And the cost is to send the 1/1. I don't know if I said that, but to send the 1/1 green event to waiting room.
From memory.
From memory, yeah.
This is a pretty cheap burn 2. It's like a pay 1 burn 2 essentially.
You do also like if you have like more than 3 cards in your damage, it is you need 4 stuff for triple pretty much.
Yeah, which is nice. You know, it's pretty decent finisher.
If it wasn't for,
Unfortunately,
like,
the red one is just better. So
yeah, I agree with Tom. It is a pretty decent finisher on its own, right? And that's like it's like the theme with a lot of these finishers. There's like 2 other finishers besides the red one, but the red one just like clearly superior to these ones.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
This
But
card's
it
still
can
fine
still
though.
play. Yeah,
This card's still fine.
I think I'll give it a 3. Because like it does have that potential, since it is fairly cheap and it's easy to do.
Next up, we got 0/0 Kyoko. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you play an event, you may choose one of your characters and give it +1 soul. And then it's a pay 1 tap self. Search Thomas M for summer characters. So Thomas M keyword is what all of the good players use to describe the brainstorm effect, which is pay 1, mill 4, and for each climax hit do something. In this case, it's search for summer characters. But yeah, pay 1 Thomas M.
Right. Yeah, sure, dude. First effect is pretty usable actually every turn. I think like +1 soul is always nice.
But like just like one problem I had with like this card with the soul is that like there's so far we have the search event, salvage event, and the climax search event. Those like 3 are the main ones you're gonna use at level 1, right? So, but if you do play like the search or the salvage, that requires you to like have a card on field that gets value in order to pump the soul. So I don't think like that first effect is gonna be like that good. The soul is definitely nice, but if you don't have like the field, if you're trying to sculpt hand using the search or salvage event, you need a character on field to like give that soul to.
Yeah.
It's true.
Does Weiss Schwarz still have that ruling that cards that proc once per turn, proc on the first instance, something can possibly trigger?
Yes.
They rescinded that. They rescinded that in Vanguard, but they did not do that in Weiss Schwarz.
No, they didn't. No. In Weiss, if you play an event with nothing to give soul to, I mean, there's always something to give soul to because it'll.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't use the effect afterwards because it missed the timing. Okay, yeah.
No.
Also, like the search brainstorm effect is like search isn't just as good as salvage. It just isn't. Or for this deck at least.
I just wanted to clarify that. I never know when these kind of rules change. Like again, in Vanguard they actually completely just changed that rule not too long ago, maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah. I do agree that the salvage might be better, but that's yeah. I think it's still fine though. Still like a
Yeah.
tap self plusing brainstorm. That does extra
That's
stuff, which is nice.
2, I think.
Yeah.
Next up, when this card's battle opponent is reversed, choose one of your other summer characters, rest it, and move it to an empty back row slot. Exclamation clean cut. That's the keyword. We call this card clean cut. And when this card gets reversed, put this card on the bottom of your deck.
Stock standard 3K clean cut, I think.
Mhm.
We've seen this like so many times.
Yeah. But
One of
going
this-
back to that yellow card that can -4/5, this potentially, like essentially, this card could hit 7/5.
Yes,
a clean cut.
that is true. It's kind of stupid actually, but
Yeah. I know
um,
clean cuts like can get value most of the time, but like it's not like that good to the point where like you should be sculpting your deck around this card. But I think it's just having options is really nice.
you want to give it? Even?
It's like a 2. I think it's generic clean cut. I've seen this type before. It's just like the set can support it pretty well.
Fair enough.
Sure, 2 it is. Hey, it looks like you, Thomas, when your blinds give you that band on your. I mean, you solved
yeah?
it for today, but hell yeah. Next up, 1-0 Kako. When this card is placed on stage from hand, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 event from among them. Show it to your opponent. Add it to hand and send the rest to waiting room. If you added a card to hand, discard a card. When this card is reversed, if the battle opponent's cost is 0 or lower, you may send the top card of your opponent's clock to waiting room. If you did that, send that character to clock. Whoa.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. You know, being on play, events are super good in this set. So
Yep.
always
Yeah.
nice.
And then the cost 0 bomb can also be helpful to clear field.
Yes, for sure. I think it's just a solid card.
Mhm.
Only caveat is
But,
it's
like,
level 1, so
It's level 1. It's also green. When your main level 1 combos are red and yellow, this card can be a little hard to play at level 1.
yeah, it's true. That being said, I mean, this is pretty well worth the green. I think, you know, mill 3, you know, mill 3 effects like this, I think are pretty good in general.
Mhm.
So
I'm not really sure where to put this. It could be really good. Therefore, I'll give it a 3.
that's fair.
I like to, for context, I like to call on the effect of level 0 bombs that did nothing besides milling 3, and they were very popular. This one's mill 3 has like effect attached to it, so if that helps provide some context for viewers, yeah, I think this card's cool. 3 is a reasonable rating for it. Next up, whoa, there's a lot of cards here. 1-0 Sora. During your turn, if there is a 1-1 yellow event we talked about a while back in your memory, this card gets plus 3,500 power and a level. Climax Combo with the 2 soul pictured above. That might be the only time we'll ever say that. It was placed in your climax area if this card is in the front row and you have another summer character perform one of the following abilities. You can either choose 1-1-0 green event from waiting room, add to hand, or search your deck for 1-1-0 green event, show it to your opponent, and add to hand. The green event is the one that mills 2 and salvages based on the number of the card on the very right and tiny in the bottom. So a lot of things going on. This is a whole bunch of things going on. Hopefully you guys are keeping up.
I mean, it's basically the Grisai combo. Unfortunately, the event this gets is just way worse.
Yeah.
Than feeding.
Also, like
It's
combos
not
with 2
feeding.
soul.
It's not feeding. It's not feeding. Actually, sorry. It's the other. I forget the name.
Cigarettes
Yeah,
event.
2 soul combo.
So combo. But it does like get pretty big on your turn, like 7-5 level 2. But other than that, it doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, I think if the event were better, like if it went to memory, for example, this combo would be pretty worth considering. But unfortunately, you know, you have to run events in your deck that don't go to memory. So
Give it a probably a
unfortunately,
1, just because
Yeah.
it doesn't really do much.
A 1. Next up, 3-2 Kyoko. If you have 3 or more events in memory, this card gets -1 level in hand. It is a level assist for 1000 power times level. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, look it up to X cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, add it to hand, and send the rest to waiting room. X equals the number of your summer characters.
we haven't seen 1K level assists in a really long time, and that is for good reason. He's 1K level assists are really good, for the record. So
Yep.
This card is just pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I think-
actually really good, especially since like the early play condition is pretty easy to get. 3 or more events, you probably have like 3. Like if you stay at level 1 for like 2 turns, you could probably get 3.
No.
With all the events going to memory, and like it could also dig for a lot more events or even climaxes on play, which is pretty nice. I think it's a pretty good card.
Yeah. What do you want to give it?
Probably like since it is pretty good, and you might want to tech in this card into most decks that you play of the set. I think I get a 4.
I don't know. I think it's worth the 4.
Next up, we got this 3-2 Sora. When this card is placed on stage from hand, perform the following effect twice. You may choose one of your opponent's level 1 or higher characters. If you do, your opponent chooses one level X or lower character from their waiting room and swaps the 2 characters. X equals the level of the character chosen by you -1. And when your opponent uses an act ability this turn, this card gets plus 1500 power. Spammable, so spammable. Each act they use, it will gain 1500 more power. Gives me some Kantai collection vibes here.
Oh god.
Double shrink. I think people call it the shrink.
Mild Bushido.
Yeah. Pretty powerful, even when it's just like, 1 card, but this lets you do it twice, which is kind of interesting. This will break
Sure.
this will break boards, like when you
Yep.
play this for sure, right? But sometimes it won't do anything,
Yeah, it's true.
What do you think about this card, Ian?
I'm not too sure about this card. It can definitely be very good against big field-based decks. Just kind of melt their board, and they kind of feel bad. And
Yeah.
also, like it does have the potential to get pretty big if your opponent uses act abilities, especially on defense. I think it's a pretty solid card. I think I'll give it a. I'm not sure, entirely sure where it will stand if you run it at all. So therefore, I'll give it a 3.
Okay, fair enough.
0-0 Daichi. When this card is placed on stage from hand, choose one of your opponent's front row characters. It gets -1000 power. And you may discard an event. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 1 summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand.
Decent filter, considering you run a ton of events in this deck. That's probably the
Your-
only reason why this flies.
Your hand
Yeah.
can get clogged with events.
Yeah.
So it can be run. And that -1000 power can be pretty helpful at times. Especially when the level 0 lineup doesn't get a lot of power.
Mhm.
Also allows your clean cut to kill a lot more cards effectively.
That is true.
That's another
This is a fine card.
hand filter. So I think I'll give it a 2.
Next up, 0-0 Sora. Climax Combo to discard a Sora 2-soul Climax or a Hikari Shot Climax. We talked about both of these. They had their respective combos. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 1. Again, these 2 climaxes from your waiting room, add to hand. So it's like a ditch climax, salvage climax, but for the specific 2 climaxes without needing to pay stock. But there is a stock costed effect on the second ability. You may pay 1, discard an event to event swap with another event from your graveyard. Oh, waiting room, sorry, this is Weiss Schwarz, and add it to hand.
Again, tons of events in the set. You're running tons of events in your deck. This kind of effect is pretty live, I think.
Yeah, this like since there's a lot of events, like running this allows you to play like many different events and not have to worry about drawing them, since you can just salvage it. Since like for a lot of the events you might want to run maybe a 1 of, maybe 2 of, and if you're running a 1 of, if you do see it at level 1 and you don't want it in hand, you clock it, you can never see that event again throughout the entire game. And so this card kind of helps getting that event back that you ditch, not having to worry about drawing it.
Yeah. This works really well with like the what do we call it? The 1/1 green event, Phil, the Bonder, that we'll probably see very shortly. Like you can like kind of finagle like on command event selection by bonding for the event and then playing this card and then ditching the event to get, you know, the event you actually want, which is really nice. I think this is like a pretty decent piece, like part of the entire like overall engine, which is like, you know, it's complete. You know, I don't think this is like a pretty important part, I think, of why the deck can work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Fortunately, the first effect is not that relevant.
Yeah. First effect, I don't think you'll play this card for the first effect. It's just the second effect that people are gonna play for. So I think 2 is justified here.
Yeah.
Next up, we have this 0/0 Yota. Pay 1, put 1 summer character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock, and return this to hand at the start of your opponent's attack phase. You may pay cost. If you do, choose one of your other characters and return it to hand. Bane of level 1 on reverse combos? I don't know. You guys probably got to break this down.
Yeah, so there's like a double plus, basically.
Plus.
It like bounces, it bounces both itself and other cards, so
I think this card, like taking that extra damage might throw people a bit off, but getting that +2 kind of, you can play your next turn without clocking, since you did get that +2.
it is really good at level 0.
Yeah. And like after like a level 1 turn, maybe you want to loop your combo so you can play this to just bounce back to hand. But it does kind of like fall off a bit after doing it the first time, since like if you do it twice, you're paying another stock plus taking the extra damage, which can be a little sad.
I think at level 1 it's kind of problematic because opening up 2 slots is pretty, like opening 2 slots that you won is kind of, I think it's just bad. So I feel like this really only gets played level 0, unfortunately.
I think it does have like some play at level 1, but like you said, it does open up a slot.
2 slots, because you have to bounce
2 slots.
Yeah.
But if you like do have this in the back, you can kind of try to play
That's
it.
true. Yeah, this could
but
be
if
in
you
the
do
back.
bounce this card back to hand, like doing it more than 1 turn kind of hurts. So if you do bounce it back to hand, it kind of becomes a deck card.
Yeah. Because it doesn't do anything else.
But it does have the potential to like deny reverse and throw your opponent off. So
Yeah.
therefore,
Interesting
I
card.
give it a 2.
Yeah. Interesting card.
It becomes a ditch out for your event bonders. True.
What do you guys rate it?
I think a
2.
2. We said 2.
Oh, okay, sorry. Next up, 0/0 Kyoko. Climax Combo, when the gold bar climax pictured is placed on your climax area, you may choose 1 copy of this card in your waiting room and place it on stage in any slot. This card attacks, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. Choose 1 card among them, put it on top of your deck, and send the rest to waiting room.
Right. So it's a level 0 combo. That
Level 0 combo.
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's just like, I guess, filler.
Yeah. This is not playable, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So it's the 1. Not really much to talk about here.
Next up, 1/0 Kyoko. For each copy of the 1/1 green event, the one that, you know, goes to memory and gets the stock refunded, you have in memory. This card gets plus 1500 power. And it has a put one summer character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock encore.
Yeah. I don't think Clock Encore has been very good for a while. So
And it's also like not even that big base wise.
yeah, you need a lot of these events in memory for this to be real. Like even after 2, this is still a 6/5, right? So yeah, this doesn't really do anything. I
Yeah,
feel like yeah.
just the one.
Yep.
Next up, we have this 1/0 Tokiko. Discard Climax. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost if you do choose one summer character from waiting room and add it to hand. During this card's battle, when the damage you take is cancelled, you may return this card to your hand.
Yeah, you can like repeat it. It's like a plus if it bounces, which is cool. Yeah.
Other than that, like it's just so reliant that you cancel for it to come back.
That is true. But if you do cancel, ooh.
And it's also like a 1/0 that's just base 4K, so I don't think like at a level 1 game, you probably can't kill anything.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think this card is that good. So give it a 1.
Sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Next up, we got this 1/1 Kyoko. When this card is reversed, if the battle opponent's level is higher than your opponent's level, you may send the top card of your opponent's clock to waiting room. If you do, send that character to clock. Exclamation mark Adachi is the jargon word.
Yes.
So there was
standard.
one like this in the 2/1, but this is a 1/1. So it is. You can get it out earlier.
Standard though. I mean, I feel like this is probably the better one of the 2 that we've seen so far. Okay. That's what I would tend to think, but
there's another generic effect, it's another anti-change clock bomb versus like another a 2 would be deserving.
Yep.
Who it is. Next up, we got 1/0 Kako. Looks like Merlin or Gandalf the White. Weird. All of your other summer characters get plus 500 power. At the start of your climax phase, choose one of your characters. It gets plus 1000 power.
It's like there's not really much that synergizes well with this, I think.
It's also
It's not
1/0, like that takes up a back row slot.
Yeah.
And when your like back row game is already set in motion with like the back row, I don't think this card is that good.
Yeah.
Also, just like it only pumps power, doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So
Very
I would
true.
give it a 1.
Yep.
Whoa. Imagine. Whoa. This is how I look at Tom when he triple cancels and says GG easy on stream. Discard 2 cards. When you use this card's backup, you may pay cost if you do choose one of your opponent's characters whose level is higher than your opponent's level and send it to waiting room. We call it anti-change because it anti-kills changers. We don't have a keyword for that, surprisingly, actually. Noted. And it's a 2500 power backup.
I think is this the only anti-change backup in the set?
Yeah, it is the only anti-change backup in the set.
Well, it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like you could probably run it as a 1-of just for the anti-change effect. Other than that, it's just a 2/5 backup, so just another generic profile. We've seen it before, so 2 is fine.
Yep.
Next up, 2/1 Yota. If you have 2 or more events in your memory, this card gets 6000 power. Big boy. It's a big boy.
He's happy.
11/5. If you have 2, the condition's super easy, but hard to say how impactful a 2/1 11/5 is. With the assist, it's 13/5, which is pretty big. But
It's pretty big. Other than that, I don't think it'll have too big of an impact
yeah.
in the game. When you can just like spend that extra stock to play like the early play healer. like heal and like clear
Yes.
board. Since 11-5, it like even like 13-5 could be backed up over.
What do you want to give it?
Probably a 1. I don't think this card will get play.
Okay.
2/1 Sora. When this card attacks, choose one of your other summer characters and it gets X power. X equals the number of events in your waiting room times 1500 power. When this card attacks, if you have 4 or more other summer characters, choose one of your characters and it gets +2 soul. I see worlds where this can give like 10,000 power, 12,000 power or something, no?
Yeah. There's a stick runs a lot of events, so I mean,
In my like deck that I run right now, or like the deck that I have in mind, I do play like 12 events. So like
It can happen.
it could happen. Like even like 8 events is over 10k. So it can like, but it only pumps other, so it can't pump itself. But the soul you can pump it to itself, so you can side with this card.
card seems fine.
Mhm.
Just a-
Like a tech in a one of, it could be
Yeah.
you could get a lot of value.
if you need it, like if you need this card, more or less. So
So let's give it a 2.
It's a lot of power.
It is.
it is a lot.
Whoa. This is how Tom looks when he triple cancels on me.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Wow, they have very go together cards for when me and Tom play Weiss Schwarz. When this card attacks, if the level of the character across from this is 3 or higher this turn, it gets 6,000 power. At the start of the Encore step, if you do not have any other rested characters in your front row, you may pay the cost. If you do, rest this.
There's a lot of level 2 attackers in this set for some reason.
Mhm.
This one is fine as well. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. There's just better options to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like.
So like I think
it's
it's a
still an
little bit
option.
better than like a lot of like the level 3 or higher get 6k cards since it can like pay 1 + 1.
Yeah.
This is another generic
Um,
profile, so I think a 2 is okay.
That's it for green. Yeah. Anyways, let's go into the set for red. Anyway, starting off with this 3/1 event. Your opponent sends all of their stock to their deck and shuffles their deck, then puts an equal number of cards from the top of their deck into stock. Send this to memory.
So it isn't like the traditional like stock bomb event.
Stock
But I think
swap,
like
yeah.
yeah, but I think like personally I think this card is really good for the deck and the finisher, since like good players can play around, like spoilers for the level 3 combo, but you do want to like reveal level 0s and 1s, but good players can play around that by like stocking their level 0s and 1s, but this card allows your finisher to be good at always.
Right. Yeah. And on top of that, I think it is a pretty. It's interesting. It's like a super. It's like a miniature version of like a stock swap, kind of, depending on how big their deck is. It's super good when they have just refresh, right? I think that's like the distinction. Whereas stock swap is like kind of mostly better when they're about to refresh.
I think you run this as like a one of probably.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, this
And,
goes
like,
to memory,
it allows
right? So
yeah, it allows you to play this card because of the stock, not the stock, the event swapper. So it is nice to have.
Yeah.
This could really have
wanted
high
to-
potential, but I'm not sure like how good this card will be. But so for now, I think I'll give it a 3.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think we've seen this kind of effect before, so
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have reservations.
You guys should learn that events that have the image that the set is based around are always broken. Just like
Okay,
the SAO 3-4 event, man.
Okay.
It's confirmed, man. Anyways, 3 it is. Next up, we got this 1-0 event. It's a counter. If you do not have a summer character, you cannot play this from hand. Camera. Exclamation camera, we have that. Look it up to 4 cards
Torch?
from the top of your deck.
Torch.
Up to
Shout
what?
out to Vince. You know, Vince is in chat. He likes this card very much.
Look
You
it
know,
up to one
he
summer
he
character.
plays this card. Always mills one before the climax cancels. What a god!
Look it up to
Does not
one
go to
summer.
memory though.
It does not go to memory.
Look it up to one summer character from among them. Show it to your opponent. Add it to hand and send the rest to waiting room. Thank you, Yumin, for making the reading of the effect difficult for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fine card, but it unfortunately does not go to memory.
Mhm.
We're getting to the payoff, guys. We're getting to the payoff. We're gonna see exactly why events that have go to memory text are so good in this set. This is not one of them, unfortunately. But it's still fine.
Mhm.
Still a fine card. What are your thoughts, Human?
Thing like I don't think it's like that good. The card effect is pretty good, but for this specific deck, it's not that good. Therefore, maybe like it is a good card just like in general, but not entirely for this deck. So I think give it a 2.
Sure.
Mhm.
If they had an option to go to memory, that would be so sick. Yeah, this card will be really good if it did go to memory.
Double R 00 Hina. You
Oh.
can play events without meeting color requirement. During your turn, the character in front of this gets plus 500 power. And when your climax is placed on the climax area, you may pay the cost if you do mill 2, then choose up to 1 level X or lower summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand. X equals the sum of the levels of cards sent to waiting room by this effect. Some are lower, right? Or just some? Has to be some.
Some are lower, some are.
Okay.
It says X or lower, right? So, sometimes Bushiroad prints cards that are just tailor made for decks, and this is one of them, I think.
This card kind of defines the series, like the set as a whole.
Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far, but because
Like
there's a card coming up that's definitely
okay, sure. But this card is
like
still
that.
really
This card's
good.
really good. Yeah, there's a lot of text here, right? You can play events without, meaning color, which is relevant because there are good events in every single color. So you don't have to play 4-color shenanigans to like play all those events. This is a pretty good Amagi effect, right? Like we talked about Amagi a lot. Exclamation point Amagi. A lot of people like those effects. This one is like better because
I think it's better.
Wait, do we not have exclamation point Amagi?
Guess we don't.
Cringe.
No, it's called the.
But
wait.
from this set forward,
We decided
this
no.
card-
We decided no. Actually, I remember this. We decided not to have it. My bad, guys. Usually it's a pay 1 when you play Climax to check top 4. Add 1. This one is a salvage. You mill 2 and then you salvage. Cigarettes. Do we have cigarettes? Hell yeah. Pay 1 cigarettes when you play Climax.
but it is a pretty good effect, and it's like it stays relevant throughout the entire game, and like does a lot more. Like it does a lot, like always.
Yeah, and you
even
want to
if
be
you-
playing Climaxes
Mhm.
all the time, right? Yeah.
Not even that, it's like the 500 assist can be helpful, and like that first effect, even if it was just like didn't even have like the 500 assist power, maybe like it'd still be run in every deck, because that first effect is just so relevant throughout the entire set.
Yeah. It means you can
It's-
play like double color level 1s, or you can play like 2 color double color level 1 events, right?
Mhm.
You can play one. You can play both still, even without having other color. Like there's a good yellow and a good green like toolboxing event, right? You can play if you have one color you only have yellow because you have a combo that's yellow.
Mhm.
Don't have green for whatever reason. You can still play your salvages and stuff and get your memory first deck. So pretty sweet card, honestly.
I think this might be the first 5 that we give to a card in this set.
Whoa, shoot!
Whoa!
All
We do
right.
dances for
Card is-
5s, right? Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Let's go, dude.
Tom, where's your dance?
You
It's a
can-
5.
you
Do a
can do-
dance. All right. Well, guys, I know you guys are really excited for this card, but there is one
There's a card.
huge downside to this card, Tom.
Oh yeah.
it dies to Kaiki.
It's true.
What is
Also dies
Kaiki,
to
dude?
Wing Slayer.
Okay, UA.
Alright, but the 5 it
Next
is.
card.
Next up, we got this 1-0 Kyoko. Memory for each 1-1 green event you have in memory. This card gets plus 1000 power. Climax Combo. When this card attacks, if you have the gate climax picture on your right, gate door. Choose one level X or lower summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand. X equals the number of cards you have in memory. We talked about the 1-1 event already, but the effect is still pictured for you guys to read.
Right. On-attack salvage. I'm a huge fan of on-attack salvage.
Yep, it is a very good card. It's like the potential to get the 8k like said before. 8k
Yeah.
level 1, 9k climax, 8k walls on defense. Not even like standby 1-1 targets can't even contest this without any support.
Yeah, I mean this will scale. As we said, the more you play, the good event that goes to memory. Selection is also pretty nice. There's a lot of text, right? A lot of text. We talked about a lot of them. This card, you know, gives you better access to those cards than the choice combo, right? So,
It's a very good combo.
yeah.
I think I'll give it a 4.
Sounds good.
Fair.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Super cute art, by the way. Next up.
Woo!
Next up. Calm yourselves, boys. 3-2 Hina. Keep in mind, guys, Yumin is 17 years old. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may heal 1. Climax Combo. Discard 1 card when this card attacks. If the gate climax or door climax, depending on where you're from, is in your climax area pictured, the climax is pictured, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 2 characters whose levels sum up is equal to or lower than X and put them into your opponent's clock in any order. Then send the rest to waiting room. X equals the number of differently named events in your memory.
Okay, so
There's a lot to say about this card. It has very high
I mean,
potential.
why don't you
It
talk
is-
about Yumin? There's like,
Sure.
yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
So I think this combo definitely like the reason why people might get into this is because probably this combo is very good. Even like the other level 3 combos are really good, but this combo is just so much better. It does so much more. Cause different named event, it could be a problem. It's not. It would be broken if it was just like how many events you have in memory. So there's a kind of like a nerf to that. But I think the prime number of events, different named events you want is 3. That you can hit level 3s. I mentioned before that stock bomb event can help this combo a lot. And not even that. If you do see a climax, you can straight up just ditch that climax in the waiting room. So it's like Mocha, but you can deal damage during this combo, which is really good.
Yeah.
And this combo is just like all around.
He's
It's
excited,
good.
boys.
It heals. I'm excited, dude. I wore my big boy pants today. You know, might have an accident, but this combo is just so good. It's so good. Like,
Come on.
and it's fairly cheap. It heals on play, always a plus. It's cheap. Discard 1. If you have the Amagi, literally like pay 1, like you can just get a card. Actually, oh my god, this combo is so good. Oh my god.
Also mills your opponent's climaxes.
He said that. He did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry.
It does whiff on
Uh,
events, yes. It does whiff on events. But like,
Shoot, bad in
That's
the
good.
mirror, yeah, true. Bad in the mirror, true.
that's true.
Lol.
If opponent plays bar top end. But like, this can definitely, like, if you triple this combo, you can definitely kill your opponent from like 3-0 most of the time. Like, the only downside to this combo is like, if you do top check 2 and you see like 2 level 0s, you put it in, and then your opponent just like cancel the swing. That kind of feels bad. especially like if they cancel like 2s or 3s. But overall, this combo is just really good, I think. This is like one of the main reasons why you play this deck, like said before. And like I keep saying it's good, but like I don't think, well, maybe I do, but like I don't think a lot of things are like that good when I say it's like broken and stuff. But this card is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if it got banned, or like this set got choice restricted. Maybe it won't, maybe it will. I don't know, only time will tell. But for now, this combo is really good, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Not much more to say about
Play
it.
it in every deck.
My
Play
buy
every
it.
deck.
my discontent with 1K1 decks has always been if they didn't have like a seamless way to grab their climax for their 3 game, it's awkward and you'd rather just play like a generic 3 game, kind of like Garasau or something. But this deck has a pretty seamless way to grab gate in the form of its back row that also makes this card a 13k power card cross turn. So, you know, I agree with you, Yumin. I just wanted to even more agree with you. I just agree with you, man. What would you rate this card?
Definitely 5 for sure. Like, this card will be the face of this set. It will be run in every deck, probably, most likely. It's just so much better than all the other combos. It does so much, and it's cheap. It's like you can build for it pretty well.
Dude, you should go work for a pyramid scheme, bro. You're very convincing. Next
Isn't
up,
this worse? Isn't the worse than Cococh, you know? Okay, dude, you're chill.
we'll handle chat during the intermissions.
Yeah, sure.
So you can remember the question. 0-0 Hina, pay 1, discard a climax. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost if you do choose a climax from your waiting room and add it to hand. And it's a level 0 bomb. When this card is reversed, the battle opponent's level is 0 or lower, you may reverse that character.
A venerable type, you know, Climax Swapper is always nice. Also does a, you know, it's level 0 bomb, also nice. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's fine. Yeah.
I think it's just the 2 is deserving. It's another climax swap. It does kind of get outshadowed by that 1/1 search event, like search climax event. But if you do have like a climax in hand where you do want to switch it, it's the option there. As running as a 1-off could probably be good. So I think a 2 is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Start.
2.
Mhm.
Next up, we got this 0-0 Kyoko. When this card is placed on stage from hand, if you have 2 or more other summer characters, you may draw 1, ditch 1. Pay 1, send this to the waiting room, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 level 1 or higher card from among them, show it to your opponent, add hand, send the rest to waiting room.
Doesn't seem that good to me.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like normally this is like fine, but like, yeah, I mean, this is just. If you miss on this, holy crap!
It feels so bad.
That is so bad.
Yeah. I don't think this card will be run that much. Especially since like there are cards that does this effect better. So therefore I think just like a 1 or like a 2 is justified. Do you agree with me, Tom?
Yeah.
What'd you guys give it?
Oh,
A 2.
hype for standby. Oh my god. Yeah.
Hype
You give
for
it 2 or
standby.
1? 2? Yeah.
Hey
that's fine.
Vince, standby? Do I need to repeat myself, Vince? Yeah, no flame, dude, no flame.
Alright. I apologize. I got an important work thing, but get this color done. 0-0 Yoda, pay 2 when this card is placed on stage from hand. You may pay the cost if you choose one of your opponent's characters, move it to an opponent's empty slot. Discard 1 card when this card is placed on stage from hand. You may pay the cost if you do choose up to 1/1 green event from your waiting room and return it to hand.
So a wonderful event with like a upside, I guess, with the grappling hook.
Yes. Yeah. Mostly just gonna be using the bond effect, I would think. Yeah.
The grappling hook is definitely like in there. It could be used, definitely.
More relevant in other decks, I think. Not that relevant here. I think. You don't get that much reward off like reversing stuff or messing with your opponent's board. So still just a still a really solid card because like it gets the event right. It helps out your selectivity quite a bit. So fine card. Yeah.
Next up, 1-0 Hina. Your other character in the front row center slot gets 500 power. Rest this. If there's a no marker underneath this card, look at the top card. Look at the top card of your deck and place it underneath this card face down as a marker. Rest this until end of your opponent's next turn. When you would pay cost for an event being played from hand, you may use one marker from underneath this card instead of one stock.
Oh, it's not just permanent.
Great.
Oh, you need like a. I would like this a lot more if you could just pay the marker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
bad, man.
like the thing is, like this card can be used, but it's like the back row slots are so contested by other good cards. Like you probably always want to have the level 0 Hina in the back row. Like even if you're running one, you probably have one and maybe a brainstorm or another blue card that'll be coming up later. But this card, I don't think you'll see that much play, since you can't do it consistently enough. You have to wait like 2 turns in each 2-turn intervals for you to get that marker.
Yeah.
So I think I'll give it just a 1.
Next up, Kyoko 0-0. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you play an event, you may draw 1. If you do, discard 1. Rest 2 of your summer characters. Choose 1 card on your clock, add it to hand, choose a card in your hand, and put it into clock.
Weird one.
There was like the exact same one, except like in yellow, except you do this one every turn, I guess.
Yeah, which is like neat, but I feel like resting 2 is kind of a heavy cost. It means you can't brainstorm if you want to.
I don't think this card is
This card's like fine though. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like hard to say how.
Like the main problem I have this card is like it doesn't plus.
Right, but it is like a double. I mean, it is like a double hand fix every time. Like if you play an event, you know, you get to hand fix for free. It doesn't really scream for its as like a good card that is included in every deck, though. I agree.
So like it could be definitely used in some decks. So therefore, I think 2 is okay for this one.
Yeah.
It can see play, but I'm not sure like where it would be used.
2?
2.
Yep.
Sounds good. Next up, 0-0 Hina. All of your other summer characters get plus 500 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand this turn, all of your other level 0 or lower characters gain the following ability. When this card attacks, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top or bottom of your deck.
Another interesting one.
Another interesting, yes, definitely. It's just not that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good either, but it is interesting, you know. Level 0 deck. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. Someone could probably build like a really decent level 0 deck with like the choice and like the bar combo. But like other than that, like it's just the other card that's there. So I'll give it a 1. I don't think this card will be used.
Next up, 0-0 Ashura. Pay 1, discard a summer character. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay cost. If you do, look at up to X cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, add it to hand, and send the rest to waiting room. X equals the number of your opponent's characters.
Pretty unique.
Yeah, it is unique.
The general profile with this card is just like the same condition to like pay 1 digit character, but you look up to 4.
Right, yeah, of course. This is fine, but like, there's so many other ways. Like,
this gets outshadowed by like what else is there.
Yeah, you usually play these kinds of cards to like get events or climaxes, right? But there are just better ways to get those cards than this.
Mhm.
So
Just
yeah,
the
feels
one.
kind of off. Yeah, I think so as well.
Oh, sorry, just the one. Alright, he seamlessly puts his rating in. So I have to catch it sometimes. It's hard to catch. All of your opponent's characters gains auto encore pay 2. And discard 1 card when this card is placed on stage from hand. Mill 2. If you mill the climax, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 1 character from your waiting room and add it to hand.
This is actually fine.
Mhm.
Like-
It is an oversize.
Yeah, it's like an oversize that like does stuff later. That second
Yeah.
effect is actually quite like decent, you know, later. I wouldn't say anyone would be wrong for playing this like over the runner or whatever, but
Mhm.
it's just fine. What do you? I think
Just like a 2, I guess.
yeah.
Next up, we got 2-1 Hina. It's 2,000 power, assist to level 3 or higher characters in front of this card. Rest this, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them back on top in any order.
This card would be good, but like, there's just that 3/2 back row level
Yeah,
assist
the
for
3/2.
1k.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
makes it this just makes this card look really bad.
I think this is still fine. It's just because costs 1 less stock and
Mhm.
has like a different a different kind of utility effect. But yeah, I mean, I feel like most of the time you try to maximize the 3/2. So
But it is a pretty decent card, like by itself.
Yeah.
I think like a 2 probably, since it is a pretty good card. It's on its own.
Sure. Next up, we got this 2-1 Kyoko. If all your characters are summer, this card gets plus 3,000 power. This ability activates up to once per turn when you play an event. This turn, this card gets 2,000 power.
Nothing too impressive.
yeah, I think another level 2 attacker. This is so weird.
It's the one I think. Like,
yeah,
it's
I
not
think
really
so
much
too.
to talk about this one.
It's not even the best level 2 attacker in the set, probably. Unfortunately. Next card.
1. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
2-1 Hina. If you have 4 more summer characters, this card gets -1 level in hand. Pay 1 send the Trigger Salvage Split Soul CX. So let's read this. When this card is placed from hand to climax area, choose up to 1 character with a soul trigger icon from your waiting room and add it to hand. Then choose up to 2 of your characters this turn. They get +1 soul. So an interesting climax. You may pay the cost if you do. Choose 1 card in your opponent's waiting room and send it to memory.
Wow.
It's time.
Wow.
Wow. We in there, boys.
Hmm.
Uh,
Like, if you
nice meme.
like, you can send your opponent's climax to memory, but like, it requires you to do this combo 8 times.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, dude.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
You can search for the climax to do the combo over and over again.
Yo, down?
Uh,
Like, not even like, you don't even have to do it 8 times. If your opponent like just like double triggers on like 1 turn, and their deck and waiting room just clean.
there could be. This is definitely.
Like, it's like overall this combo is just like, it's just a big meme.
Just make a deck with this and like the climax event. Search
Yeah.
climax event and meme it up at your locals.
Hmm.
Probably just the one, right?
Just because this card is funny and like it has the potential, not a lot, but just potential with quotation marks. So give it a 2.
Sure. Next up, we got this 1-0 counter. When you use this card's backup ability, resolve the following effect as many times as you want. You may discard a card if you do look at the top card of your deck and either put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room +1,000. Whoa! Whoa!
I feel like there's another set with this effect. I mean, this one is like.
There's Konosuba as a 2/1 backup.
Oh,
for
right.
this effect.
Right.
But
Yeah.
This card is just like, yeah, you can top
super
check.
lethal counter or
but-
something. Yeah, basically.
Like, it's just not that good.
It being costless is nice, but obviously it means like you can't really use this as an actual counter very often.
Hmm.
Weird one. I
Yeah.
feel like it's probably not gonna be played though. 'Cause-
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
honestly just give it a 1. It's just not that good.
Savage.
Like the backup itself is not relevant for like relevant power, and that's the first effect is just meme.
Fair enough, fair enough. Next up, 1-0 Ashura. When this card is placed on stage from hand, choose up to 1-0 Yota from your waiting room. Put it underneath this card face up as a marker. Discard a card, choose up to 1. Choose 1 1-0 Yota from this card's marker, place it on stage in any slot. And at the end of the turn, you may return it underneath this card face up as a marker. Press this, choose one of your summer characters, and it gets 2,000 power.
Oh shit, dude! It's like the Vanguard thing.
Yeah.
Jojo?
You get to like.
It's like a
You know.
stand, dude. You call out your stand, attack comes back.
I guess so.
This is a lot of flavor though, like in this specific scene. No, I related to a lot because I did watch the anime. If you didn't watch the anime, then like, what are you doing here? But,
Yeah, Yue.
Yeah, Yue. Wait, Tom, you
Big
watched the
fan.
anime?
No, but I'm also not saying. I'm not the one saying I'm a big fan. Okay, so
I never said that.
But aren't you getting the set,
you
Yue?
actually did.
Dude,
Aren't
why are you
next?
gaslighting, bro?
It's just-
Okay, but this card is very flavorful. But other than that, like, this package, it's just not worth playing. I don't think.
1?
Probably 1.
Sure. Alright, moving on. Okay, well, when this card taps, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card
1.
is a summer character. Oh, okay. 1, okay, sounds good. Moving right along, but it does pump 3,000 power, just letting you guys know.
Actually, no. Maybe I'll give it a 2. Maybe I was a bit hasty on the
Okay.
evaluation. I'll give it a 2.
So if
'Cause
that
that
card is a
3K
summer
power-
character or event, choose one of your characters, it gets plus 3,000 power.
Yeah, 3,000 power is a lot.
I came in a bit fast there, yeah.
Yeah, I was too excited. I'm still a little bit like nuding from the level 3 combo, dude. I'm still.
Alright,
So-
so 2 it is. Next up, 1-0 Hina. When this card attacks, if you have 5 or less stock, it gets 3,000 power.
Before we get into this card, fun fact: it is cut out in the frame, but she's actually pointing to a Charlotte character. Remember that Takajo, that guy with the glasses? He's
Yeah.
actually in this anime. She's
Totally.
pointing to him,
A
but
big key fan, I remember, yeah.
you know, it's cut out here because you can't add this card. You can't add him into the set.
FYI, she's also holding me on her chest. If you didn't know, I make a cameo on this
Oh
card.
yeah.
Just in case you didn't
Big
know.
fan. Big
Yeah.
fan. Big fan.
Also,
of your
Tom,
work.
Tom she's wearing like Tom mask on her head, dude. No flame, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah. So cameo, we're all on this card, man. She's holding me, she's wearing Tom mask,
Yeah, and I'm the girl.
and you're the girl. Hell yeah!
Hell
Alright,
yeah.
what do you rate it?
Oh shit.
Like, it's just not a good card.
Yeah, it's not good.
1. Tom, no flame, by the way.
Better options.
Next up, 2-2.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Next up, 2-2 Ashura. For each of your other back row summer characters, it gets 2,500 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, if you have 4 or more other summer characters, choose one summer character from your waiting room, and you may send it to stock.
Another
Only
level
the
2
set had
attacker,
standby, dude. If
man.
this set had standby, actually, I'm kind of glad this set doesn't have standby because I don't want it tainted. But you know, this is a good standby target. Like, it could actually be played from hand for free. Well, like, it could be played without with 1 stock, which is pretty good.
What do you give it?
Honestly, maybe I'd honestly even give it a 2, just because like it's a 2/1, 2 soul. It can be 11k.
Sure. Next up, 3-2 Kyoko. If you have a 0-0 Kyoko Thomasim in your clock, this card gets -1 level in hand. When this card is placed on stage from hand, all of your characters get plus 3,000 power until the end of the turn. Yeah, the 0/0 Kyoko is pictured below. We reviewed this card earlier. You guys can reread that effect if you want.
It's an early play. It's interesting, but I don't know how. I don't think it's.
I don't know how good this is. Like it's just
Yeah.
3k, doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's not like the early condition is like free either.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think this card is
But-
that good.
You get to
Probably
break a
just-
board, I guess, for the turn.
Probably just like
So,
honestly just a 1.
yeah, I agree.
Sounds good. And that should be it for red. Yeah. Let's get blue done so I can be excited to play more Weiss Schwarz because I only play Weiss Schwarz. That's it. Okay,
What was that?
Tom is like a gremlin, man. That's like the sound he makes when he wakes up in the morning.
Yeah, dude. The mask.
Yeah, dude.
The mask.
yeah.
So again, we're starting with events. This 3/2 event is a counter. If you do not have a summer character, you cannot play this card from your hand. Resolve the following effect twice. Choose one of your characters this turn. It gets plus 1,000 power and gains the following ability. Character across from this gets -1 soul. Send this to memory.
Wooly.
Mentioned before.
It's Wooly, except it's level 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Being level 3 kind of is a little bit sad, but like you can stall out a turn at level 3 if you are ahead, if you are behind on damage. And
Yeah.
like the bypass hexproof part could be really relevant.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to commit like another level 3 to the board, this is like nice. You can like protect your, like, say you have to like play healer, you can protect your healer with this event and not take damage at the same time, which is nice. It gets pretty big, right? Like in front, like, say of the assist in front of the Hina, it's 13k, and you have this event and it's 15k. Pretty hard, actually. I think pretty big, so pretty hard to remember.
Give it probably a 3.
Uh,
Maybe.
okay. Okay.
I think that's like because like, I'm still on the edge about. I think it's pretty good, but I'm not sure if there'll be space to run it in every deck, like in most decks that I test out. So since like, well, the blue color condition doesn't matter that much, but the fact that it's level 3 is kind of feels a little bit bad, since you do kind of want to play this at level 2, going into level 3 just to get more events into memory.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Sounds good. Next up, we got this 3/4 event. During your opponent's turn, you have 5 or more apparently, but it's just 5 or more other summer characters. You may choose 3 cards in your hand and place them in your clock in any order. You do end your opponent's attack phase and proceed to the end phase. Send this card to clock.
Dang. No. This, I think this ends. They don't get to attack. They don't do damage, I believe.
They don't do damage. Yeah.
Is that the is that the ruling?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so. I'm pretty sure.
So
Like if they have an on attack combo, then they can do that. But like this kind of guarantees you live another turn.
yeah. Actually, yeah. So costs a lot, but it's like a time walk basically. So
I'm
this is weird. I have
entirely
no
too
idea.
sure.
I have no idea. how
I'm
this
not
card is
entirely
gonna-
too sure because like this could open up to some really good plays. Like you and I are talking about this. If you like let's say like double Hina, right? And you play this card, you can do it again. If you have
Yeah.
2 gates or like the Surge Climax event,
Yeah.
this opens to like some good like nutty plays. That
You,
could have high
um,
potential.
Yeah.
This gets much worse if they have like a direct or a side, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Hina
So you-
combo is relevant damage when she sides. Like you can choose to make a play like that. It's like really weird.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, since, like,
that's why
especially
this
since-
card is like weird. Like I don't know what to think of this.
And the Hina combo like doesn't cost stock, so you could like reasonably get the stock for this card.
Yeah.
But it's just like you do need 4 cards in hand, including this one. So if you after you do your combo, you might not have 4 cards in hand.
Question: First battle happens, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't even happen. It'll just
Yeah.
like
this
So like they trigger. It's trigger step. You play this counter. Attack phase ends.
Yeah.
so it will the attack
So,
doesn't
like,
like go through and resolve through because it's already in the
Yeah.
process of happening. Are
I
you
think
sure?
so. That's what Human said.
I'm
That's
pretty
what Human
sure.
said. There might be a Q&A on
Actually,
this.
I could be
dude.
wrong. But
There
there's
might be
like it's
Q&A on
usually
this.
like trigger step
Yeah.
and then damage phase and then like reverse.
I'm
Right?
aware, but if there's a unit that is currently battling, everything procs. Everything is currently in the process. That's why you can use move gear on an empty board. Like everything is in the process of procking. Like, you
Yeah,
can
but
use-
like, well, the thing about, well, but like gear doesn't like stop.
I know,
anything.
but I'm under the impression that in that battle, everything will happen.
Yeah, like there's a card similar
No.
like actually no, King Crimson's a bit different since like your opponent doesn't get to trigger.
Yeah, I don't think this is like I don't think the gear comparison makes sense because the gear doesn't actually prevent the battle from happening at all, or like the counter. The gear doesn't when you bounce like when air bounces, it doesn't prevent the counter step from happening. There's nothing about the counter step that requires a character.
Yeah, like people are
be
saying
there.
it stops the attack. A smart like I'm pretty sure like 70-80% sure it stops the attack. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it does too,
Sure,
based on
sure,
the wording.
sure.
The other thing about this card though, I feel like it's kind of hard to. You have to set up a specific kind of board. There's a very specific scenario where this is very strong, and in that sense, it's like very telegraphed.
Mhm.
But like,
It is very
people are saying
flavorful,
they can
though.
stop. How do they stop it? People are saying like they can play around it.
Uh,
How are they stopping this?
If you could, I guess you could side.
If you get a side like actual damage in, like this is no longer very good value, right?
Mhm.
But if you're bored, okay, sure. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, but the event is very flavorful.
You do need the second. You probably do need the. Yeah, they can stop the event by bouncing. I mean, they're obvious. Dude, in the mirror, this is useless, dude. They're gonna play the bouncer.
But like, I just want to talk about the scene. It's not a spoiler, so I think I can say it. But there's a scene like that's like completely irrelevant from the main storyline. They just start playing mahjong, right? And like this guy, he has no idea how to play mahjong, and like the girl's like, if you can do it in Uno, you can do it in mahjong. So he just literally says skip, and he skips a turn. That's the flavor of this card. The guy literally just goes like skip, and his opponent skips their turn.
Why'd you rate it?
I think a 3.
3, yeah.
It's like hard.
Okay.
I don't know.
Next up, we're on to double R's. 00 Hikari. Put one summer character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock. This card's placed on stage from hand. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand. When this card is reversed, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is revealed is level 1 or higher, you may send this to stock.
Salvage Ricky, that goes to stock.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Like the Salvage Ricky effect is pretty standard, but the second one is like just nice.
Yeah, like if you do plus that stock, like you just +1.
Doesn't have to be an event. Doesn't have to be a character, by the way. So it'll proc on events as well, which is of course nice for this deck. So
I think I'd give it a 4. It's a really good Ricky.
I think so too.
Sure. Definitely feels like it's like they're like seeing how far they can take a Ricky before people go mauled, and we're getting pretty close.
No, this set could get banned, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it doesn't have standby triggers. I'm sorry. 3/2 Kako. If you have 2 or less climaxes in your waiting room, this card gets -1 level in hand. For each of your opponent's back row, this card gets +1000 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand or deck, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 of this card, place it on stage in any slot, and shuffle your deck afterwards.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it forces you to play blue though.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
But like, the ideal situation for this card, since it is kind of cheap, you can probably get 2 out. With the back row Izanami with the 1k level assist, this can hit 14k on attack and defense. For 5 stock, you can have 14k walls.
Yeah, that is true. But you need a lot of. You need 5 stock. Yeah, 5 stock.
5 stock is like for 3 cards, for 3 like level early plays. That could be pretty good.
That's true. I mean, there's definitely a world where there's this could be in a deck. This could be a build around. And it's not like spending stock is like that bad for the deck because like your finisher doesn't require that much stock. So
yeah, and like worst, like even if you don't have it for 4 stock, you can get a full field.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like deviating from the main game plan of just like setting up a finisher.
Yeah.
But this card definitely can see play. It has good potential, just setting up walls. So I think I'll give it a 3 for now, because I'm not sure.
Hard to say. You know, it's compression as well. You know, second deck compression. You know, plus you take out 2 other cards, not insignificant. 3 is fun. I think 3 is appropriate.
2980 SP. 0 Yoda. When your climax is placed on climax area, choose one of your characters. It gets plus 1000 power. Pay 1, rest 2. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 level 1 or higher card from among them. Show it to your opponent. Add it to hand and send the rest to waiting.
Right. So
This could be really good.
this could be good. Yeah. It's like a consistent +1 every turn.
It can miss though, but you don't like compared to like cards that's like sack itself, or cards like Akatsuki, we ditch one. It doesn't feel as bad if you do miss.
That is true. I think it still feels bad if you missed.
Let's be real. It still feels bad.
But if it does get you a card, that's like if it doesn't get you a card, I think this is like
Also, like
pretty
it
solid.
hits on events as well, which is really good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like the Hina is just better.
Or maybe if you play like this with the Hina, since like the Hina has no like doesn't get
That's
any value
true.
from being stand, you can just do this and still do the Amagi effect.
That's true. The power is a really, really nice effect.
Mhm.
That can't be understated. The power will be relevant if you play this card. So, yeah, I think
Like-
playing this instead of a brainstorm is like definitely in the back row is like definitely something
think,
to be
like,
tested. If you
A 3 is like deserving of this card
yeah,
because it does definitely has high potential.
Sure. 3 it
this
is.
card.
1-0 Hikari. When this is reversed to the battle opponent's cost is 0 or lower, you may send that character to the bottom of your opponent's deck. Alarm, pay 1, discard 1. If this card is on the top of your clock, at the start of your main phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, put all cards from your waiting room into your deck and shuffle your deck.
Level 1 free fresh.
This is cool.
Yeah. But it is at like the beginning of main phase, so like you do have to clock it. You can't like use other card effects.
The other thing is like, so I mean, I feel like a lot of free fresh effects are typically most effective when you're like confirmed that your deck is like absolutely fucked.
Mhm.
I feel like if you're using this, because it's kind of weird, right? Because you're kind of like saying, you're kind of making the call to like refresh before you know what's happening during your turn, and you could still even just like, fuck up your deck after you use this effect. It's kind of awkward. This is interesting. I don't think this is bad. It's just I think it requires a little bit more. It's like you have to like think about it a little differently, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like handy to have.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I give it a 2.
Sure. Next up, 1-1 Kako. Level assist, 5 times 500 power. Climax Combo, pay 1, rest 2. Choose 1 level X or lower summer character from your waiting room, and you may add it to hand. X equals to the number of copies of the book Climax in your waiting room.
Oh boy.
Wait.
Ahoy.
Oh.
Ahoy.
What? Nice. Wait, what is this card, dude? I don't know.
It's filler.
Yeah. Don't play this card, please.
But yeah, it's just another Climax Combo. Needs to be there. Still one quick pass.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1 for sure.
0/0 Hiroto. When this card is placed on stage from hand, mill 2. If there is a level 0 or lower character among them, this turn does not suffer soul penalty when side attacking. It is a pay 1, ditch 1, search your deck for up to 1 summer character. Add it to hand, shuffle your deck afterwards.
Nah, it's just a drop searcher.
I'm not sure how good it is, like compared to like, cause you do have like search or salvage events.
That's true. That's true. The side attack text is nice, but yeah, I agree. I think this has like less value because of the events. So
And like level 0 lineup is already a little bit tight. So like teching in like this card might be a bit difficult. But it's just like another drop searcher that does have like a good merit on play. So I think I'll give it a 2.
sounds good.
1/0 Hiroto. Pay 4, discard an event. When you use this card's backup, you may pay the cost if you do. Choose one of your opponent's characters and rest it.
Weird. You think this is better or worse than the Woolly?
I think this is severely worse, dude.
Yeah, it's like
It's pay 4, ditch 2 cards
events.
essentially, and like, you
Yeah.
have to ditch an event as well. So like this card just isn't that good.
yeah, I think the Woolly.
Like,
The
the
Woolly's just
counter-
better, right? The Woolly's just better.
And the counter itself is just like not that big a power. It's 1k is not gonna help most situations.
I agree.
One.
It's a 1 then.
1.
Next up, 3/2 Hiroto. Pay 1. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost if you do. Choose an event in your waiting room and add it to hand. Discard attacks. Choose one of your summer characters and it gets 1500 power. Discard a card. When this card attacks, you may pay the cost if you do. Mill 2. Deal X damage to your opponent. X equals to the number of climaxes milled.
I think this would be better if the event swapper weren't a card. That's how I feel.
That's true. Also, it's blue.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty awkward, actually.
And then like,
Oops.
sure, it's like ditch 1, and like mill 2, but like, how many climax can you mill in 2 cards? Unless you
Yeah,
guarantee
it's
it.
definitely not. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna happen.
Like
the word it's
all
not gonna
attack
happen
1/5.
consistently.
All attack 1/5 is nice, but it's just like all the other effects is not worth running.
Yeah.
So like, it is a decent card that you can run just for like the salvage event. So I think I'll give it a 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Next up, 3/2 Yota. Pay 2, discard 2 summer characters. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, if you have the pants climax in your climax area pictured, you may pay the cost if you do. Deal 3 damage to your opponent twice.
Zowie, zowie. Twice. 9. Wait, the climax number is 99. It's funny.
It's just not that great.
Yukina? Yeah, dude, this is just. Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically it is the same. Is it the same?
You can have burn 2, burn 2.
Oh, it is burn
Also
two,
a
burn two.
healer.
Okay, well, also healer.
This doesn't have a heal effect.
Yeah, I mean,
Also
this is
bigger.
not really.
Also bigger.
This is not up for consideration.
Also, you
But
don't
I
have to
think-
ditch characters.
All right, dude. All right, dude. Isn't Yukina pay 3 though?
It is pay 3.
Yeah, pay 3, ditch 2.
Yeah. There you go, dude.
But like, it's just
Nah, this
like
is not
it can
good.
be a decent finisher, I guess, if you do get it, because you do burn 3, which can be pretty
It's
powerful.
so small though. I mean, I guess the size isn't that much of an issue because of the assist, but it still feels kind of bad. I think because this doesn't do
Yeah.
anything on play.
I think just like a 2 for now is good.
Yeah.
It's not that good of a card.
Camera 0/0 Hikari. This card attacks. Choose one of your characters this turn. It gets 2500 power.
Interesting.
For level
Um,
0, that's a lot of power.
It's yeah, that is true. But like, there's a Shimakai, and there's the 1-0. I feel like it just doesn't do enough on its own.
Sure. How would you rate it?
It's the 1, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the true
mean-
camera.
This is the true camera. Okay.
Don't worry about the camera. Just keep doing your thing, man.
0-0 Hiroto. When this card is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a summer character or event, add as a hand and discard one. Shuffle 2 characters from your waiting room into your deck. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, this turn, this does not suffer soul penalty when side attacking. Exclamation mark console.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. My jam. It's a console that side attacks without soul penalty. Cool, I guess. It's
Like,
this is
there's a lot of this guy
fine.
has a lot of cards that like side without penalty.
Yeah,
But that's
true.
flavor. Like the character on attack on like play character event effect could be pretty relevant.
Yeah, I feel like it would be better if like you were to devise a brainstorm like every. I feel like you don't actually brainstorm that often in this deck,
Hmm.
so I don't know. This is fine though. It's just like not like great.
I guess like a 2 maybe.
Yeah.
0-0 Yue Peng. All of your characters gain continuous. This card cannot side attack. Pay 1, send one of your characters on stage to wait. Wait, what?
Wow.
Oh.
Dang. Pay 1 encore, dude.
Pay 1 encore.
If this is the only card on your board, you have to send itself to.
Nice turn 1 play.
I feel like there are better. It seems like there are better 3/5s. This set, so.
Yeah, it's the 1 I guess. It's not that good.
1-0 Yota. If this card has a marker underneath it, it gets +1 level and 4,000 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, choose 1-0-0 Kako Vanilla. From your waiting room, you may put it underneath this card face up as a marker. At the start of your encore step, if you do not have any other rest characters in your front row, you may pay the cost. If you do, rest this.
Like
It's
for the
only
amount of power
6K?
and like the level for like the marker, it's just not that good. 6k level
Only
2 is really not
6K.
relevant.
That is sad.
1 star?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
1
1
star.
It's a 1.
1-0 Hiroto. During your turn, if you have a 1-0 Raita in your clock, this card gets +4,000 power. Climax Combo. When this card attacks, if you have the Pants Climax in the Climax area pictured, and you have 2 or more other summer characters, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 character or event from among them. You add it to hand and send the rest to waiting room. The 1-0
I
Raita
assume
is pictured.
I assume the condition is flavor.
Yeah. It's like the flavor is like the agent is always like with him.
I see.
So like he's like tasked to like do stuff, and like since he's like a criminal, this guy always
Right,
has to
right.
like monitor him.
Power condition's pretty awkward, I think.
Yeah. But like if you do get it, it's 9/5 on attack
That's true.
with the climax.
But-
But like the combo itself is a little underwhelming as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Like for a budget deck, you might run this combo. But if you're playing budget, you might as well play like the Izanami Gate combo. Like, choice
Yeah.
like combo's not even that like expensive either.
What do you want to give it?
I don't know, probably a 2.
Sure.
Yeah. It is big. It's like the
It is
redeeming
big.
factor.
Here's the card that needs to be in clock for the power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may choose 1 card on the bottom of your clock and a summer character in your waiting room and swap them. When this card attacks, this card gets +X power until the end of opponent's next turn. X equals the number of this card in your clock times 2,000.
Wow. Second effect is pretty dank. I
It
mean, it
is.
probably attacks for 6/5, right?
Probably.
Yeah. I wish this
Probably.
did more
Yeah.
than be big.
Honestly, like blue as a color is kind of underwhelming in this deck. A little bit.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So I'll just give it a
Um,
1.
Yeah,
This
fair
card
enough.
has like no other effect
only-
than this pump power.
Yeah, you can only play this. You're only playing this if you're playing the combo. So
Yeah.
Holy!
Wow, look at this! Look at this engine!
2-1 Hiroto. If you have a 1-0 right on your clock, this card gets -1 level in hand. When your climax is placed on the climax area, choose one of your characters until end of your opponent's next turn. It gets plus 4,000 power. Dude, the plays!
Yeah, this. Yeah,
The
but this
play,
is
like,
4K.
you
this
pump-
is 4K itself, bro.
Okay, no. Think about it. The level 1 combo. It could be 8-5 cross turn.
Right,
And, like,
but then you just played
12-5 on
a
attack.
2-1 Then you just played a 2-1 4K. Nice, sick card.
You act like a standby deck.
Oh my god.
Man, this card is bad.
Human, play this
Nice
on stream?
meme.
Play this on stream?
What a meme. Yeah, sure. You have to play this on stream.
Sure, 1.
2-1 Hikari. When this card is placed on stage from hand, this turn it gets plus X power. X equals the number of your summer characters times 1,000. You want to just rate this?
Yeah,
1.
just rate it. Yup.
2-1
Oh no,
Kato.
there's so many engines in this kit in this set, dude.
For each marker underneath this card gets plus 1,500 power. When this card attacks, choose one of your other 1-0 Yota. You may place that card and that card's marker, underneath this card face down as markers. This card is a summer character and place the top card of your stock underneath this card face down as a marker. When this is reversed, you may pay the cost if you do rest this. Ooh, unkillable
Wow.
cards? Hell yeah.
This is like a 2012 card. Holy shit.
Yo, legacy term format, dude.
Nice, dude.
This card allowed.
See, I have a theory that with key cards specifically, they just have a database that they pull out from back in the day that they didn't use and just poured it into the key set. My theory.
Oh, yeah.
Key sets are
Yeah, like the
great.
Hina, dude. That card, yeah, dude. That card is such an old
Okay.
style card.
Okay, with obvious exceptions.
This card's bad.
But yeah, just like another 1, I guess. It's like, you probably wouldn't run this.
Yeah.
10-5 with the god.
What do you rate this, Ewan?
1.
Instead of 1.
Sure. 2-2 Hiroto. For each of your opponent's back row characters, this card gets 2,500 power, making it cap at 11,000 power. And its encore effect is to send 2 of your characters on stage to waiting room.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Holy
You're
shit.
a
What a
hacker man,
dank,
dude.
what a
Hacker
dank
man.
encore. What a dank encore effect.
That is very dank.
Doesn't seem good. I mean, this is obviously this can't.
It's
play
obviously
this in
not
this set.
good.
Yeah, it's standby. Okay.
How about law? Okay, it's a
Alright,
1.
It's a 1.
And that's it for blue. Let's get straight into
Normal
promos.
time.
Let's make it quick and
Hacker man.
yeah. First promo 00 Sora. It's a 1,000 power assist to level 0s. You can send this to waiting room when your other summer character is frontal attack. You can choose to pump that battling character by 1,000 power.
It's like,
It kind of tries to
it's
do.
a promo.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of trying to do like a few things at once, but doesn't really succeed at either.
Yeah, I think it's just a 1. I don't think
Yeah.
this card is bad.
I agree.
1-0 Kyoko. This card cannot side attack. When you play an event, this ability activates up to once per turn. Pump this card 2,000 power.
So it is 7-5.
Again. Yeah, but like, if you're playing
Yes.
again, you have to play this card before you play an event.
Yeah, so I guess it's not
Um,
that good.
I don't know. Yeah, I think they're just better cards. They're cards that like attack for like 7K or whatever. That are just like
So much easier. It's like the level
Yeah.
1 combo without the climax with the Amagi back row 7k.
yeah.
So it's
So
like just 1.
Sure. Next up, okay, so 1. 00 Hina. Pay 1, discard 1. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the card. You may pay the cost if you do choose 1 character from your waiting room and add it to hand. Alarm. If this is on the top of your clock at the start of your climax phase, you may draw 1 and discard 1.
cool.
The alarm effect is kind of nice. It can be a really good hand fix.
Yeah, but The drop
The
salvager
drop
itself
salvage effect, like
kind of outclassed, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to know the previous 1-0 Kyoko. I mean, if Torch were like actually a card you could play, I think that card would be like decent. But
He doesn't have like.
I don't think you actually play Torch, so
Where?
Why does this give 1,000 power? Because it salvages character, I think. I'm guessing. No, wait. No, most of them salvage character.
No, most drop salvages give 1k, but like this one
Trait.
doesn't because
It's trait, right? It's trait. Because this doesn't specify trait.
No, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. It's because it says character, but I'm pretty sure other ones also say character.
I think they say trait.
Okay, sure.
Let me double check though.
You don't want to rate it.
probably
Like
just like maybe
two?
2. It is a tech
Yeah.
card.
Final card 0-0 Kako. If this card is in the front row center slot, it gets 3,000 power.
It could actually be kind of good.
Yeah, it's alright.
4/5, level 0.
Pretty, yeah, decent.
It's just a 2.
Blue, kind of a
It's
dead color
power.
though, right?
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
this
yeah.
level 0 can allow like you to play blue cards, especially that like early play Tengen. You just put up walls.
Yeah.
And this card itself is
Um,
actually kind of decent.
I think it's fine.
I think a 2 is fine.
The salvagers that give 1k power do just salvage for trait, by the way. So that's the reason why. I looked it up. UA.
What?
Next card.
That's everything, I think.
Oh, it is?
There's one more.
Yeah.
Actually, there's multiple more.
Oh,
Yeah.
0-0 Hikari. When this card is placed on stage from hand, mill 2. If there is a climax among those cards, choose one of your characters and it gets 1,500 power. Discard a card, send this to waiting room to choose a summer character from your waiting room and add it to hand.
yeah, just
Wait. Oh, it's one of those cards.
yeah.
This is I guess.
It's just it's okay. So give
Yeah.
it 2.
Sorry. Trying to fix something on the stream. 2 it is. Final card is this card, very known for the art.
Oh god.
SBTCG Kahlua actually started a wave, a movement that has even transcended into Japan with this card and tier lists for
Wow.
Feet.
egregiously inappropriate topics. Discard a card. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, you may choose a level 0 or lower character in your waiting room and put it on any spot on the stage. Shout out to SBTCG Kahlua for creating a trend.
Dude, Cross he's connecting our scenes, man.
But yeah, going back to this card, like usually this card's like it spawns like a level cost 0. I mean,
Does
like
it?
something similar to that.
Oh, you mean like the spawner shirt, the stock one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like for those kind of cards, it has like the condition of like name or like level. I think.
It's usually cost 0 or cost 0 or lower equal to or lower
Yeah.
than your level. Yeah.
This one's just level 0 or lower, so it just makes it a little bit worse.
It's also not a plus because it's a digit card.
Yeah.
It's okay, but like not like. It's also small,
hmm
pretty small. So
I think it's 2.
Sure. All right. And that's it. That's it. I can make a play here. Go to side 1. Boom! UA has improved in his abilities to use PBT slides. That's it for the best ever Weiss Schwarz set review show, episode 7. Day I became a god. No standby. Very sad. I think not playing standby in 2021. You're wasting your time, but it says really good nonetheless. Human is excited to play it. I'm excited to play it. Tom is excited to be Tom, and you know, Yeah, again, I'd like to shout out our sponsors, Nova TCG, the place to buy Japanese Weiss Schwarz singles in North America and around the world. They have great international shipping rates as well, along with a fantastic domestic shipping rate. And also, thank you to Waste Tea Time and Taya and everyone who works on that blog for always providing the community with translations in a very timely manner, providing articles, providing competitive articles, right? And other sources of content. You know, we need more of this in Weiss Schwarz. It's how we grow the community. So thank you so much, Taya, and we really appreciate that you partner with us and work with us on this show. Thank you to SBTCG Human Kim for appearing on this episode and sharing with us some of his insight. He's actually playtested this deck a lot. Ever since they started spoiling cards, he made decks out of like just the original few spoilers, which is super cringe, but you know, very dedicated. So Human, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I got to talk about it a lot. I got excited at parts, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a great time
I
having
had
you
fun
here.
too.
Yeah,
it was pretty fun.
I had fun too. Listening to you
Nova
sing.
TCG has their singles up, by the way. Put the link in the chat.
You
So
go
if
buy
you are
those.
looking for, go buy those foils, guys.
Okay, and you mean any shout outs you want to give? It's your time, your
Shout-outs?
floor.
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to like the people that I asked for Angel Beats in Charlotte. No, Weber and my friend Denki, otherwise it was Preston. They gave me a lot of insight on their specialties for Angel Beats in Charlotte. And it's like, I guess shout outs to Joey. He plays tested this deck with me a lot. That's pretty much it.
No shout outs to your team.
Shout out to SBTCG, you know? Shout outs to SBTCG UA for like helping me finish all those meat plates that we ordered.
Oh god, dude, this kid ordered so many sausages. Dude, we were all full, and then 8 more sausages came onto the table.
I thought I ordered 2, right? But I didn't know it was 2 orders. I thought it was just 2 sausages, right? But it came 2 orders, so 8 came out.
Oh my god, dude, I've never had this many wieners inside of me. Oh my god.
Oh
Dude.
my god, dude.